The Black Fat Film Podcast is a production of iHeartRadio and DoctorJonPaul, LLC. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Black Fat Film Podcast, where all the intersections of identity are celebrated. I'm one of your hosts, John, also known as DoctorJonPaul. And I just want to say, and I want to reiterate, that the devil thought he had me. I did. But you know what? I got away. And we're going to talk more about that a little bit later in our No Ma'am, or Yes Ma'am in our No Man segment. We're going to talk a little bit more about what happened. But I just want to say, again, the devil continues to think she had me. See, this is the thing. The devil thinks she's that girl. She really does.
Mm-hmm.
And every once in a while, you have to remind her that you are not the lead singer of this group, girl.
Okay.
You are not running anybody's show. You are we can send you your luggage. Okay?
We can send you your luggage. Please. We can send you your luggage. Go on.
We can send you your luggage. That's really it. And I be wanting to say that to her. Like, I just be looking her dead in the face like, you know we can send you your luggage, right? And so I just really want to say, girl, you keep trying it and you're going to lose every single time. But anyway, I'm going to go into it a little bit more later. How are you, my favorite baby?
I was trying to do interpretive flag twirling as you're speaking to match your words. Like, the devil thought she had me. Can I give you some performance? I got so many flags in my house right now. Whoo, fam. It's your girl, Joho, or Jordan, if you sign my checks. I got a question for the people who quote unquote do it all. As in work, sleep on time, cook well, work out, make time for friends, etc. How? How do you do it? Are you cheating here? Do you really have it all? Do you even have friends? Do you just make content on that in your basement? Do you actually sleep? I just want to know how you do it all because I've been trying to do it lately for myself. And girl, I'd be tired.
It's impossible.
I cannot do it all. And I hate the girls who are like, you can have it all. No, you can't have it all, girl.
No, you can't.
You can't.
Nope.
I'm trying to so hard. Or it's like you can if you want to be exhausted every day. You can if you want to sacrifice something that you love. Yeah. I don't like sacrifices, girl. My family sacrificed everything for me to be here in this world. I don't want to sacrifice anything else. It's too much. So I just want to know how y'all do it. Help a girl out.
She said, I'm not giving y'all.
I'm not giving
nothing.
shit up. Okay. I did not have slavery on one side and gashuans on the other for me to sit here and sacrifice for you people. No, ma'am.
Not.
No ham, no turkey.
No, yep. And I've been spelling absolutely not as NAUGHT. Not. Like, I'm absolutely not going to be doing any of that. And sometimes you got to just tell people, like, absolutely not. I'm not, the thing is, oh, you got to work out and get a summer body. Nah, nigga, you gonna get this body because I'm tired. I work I literally have a full-time job. We got this podcast, family stuff going on. Price of everything is going up. Can we talk about, just real quick, I don't know if you've been seeing that clip go around of McDonald's when they were talking about the menu and the prices on the menus and how like almost 10 years ago, the prices of McDonald's was like, it was $2.99 for a meal. It was like $3-something for a meal.
And
now it's like $11.
They're charging premium prices, girl. Premium prices.
Literally. And the food wasn't even, the food is still not fooding. And so it's just like, y'all gonna get what y'all get from me. And if you get an attitude, you just get an attitude. Because a bitch is tired.
No, because
is tired.
Well, I love Taco Bell. Why they charge $16 for two chicken chili supreme combo? $16. I might as well go to Air One. Like,
well,
why am I?
I'm with you when you're right.
I'm paying Air One prices for not Air One
Taco Bell.
What you mean?
Yeah.
And I love TB. The storyline for me has run still on that one. I need you to calm down. Anywho, y'all, we gonna kick off our show that we do every week by giving Miss Tisha Campbell her flowers in our Still Here segment. To show that we're still here, we're gonna start off today by doing just a Q3 check-in because we need it, girl. We haven't done this in a minute, and I think it's good for our listeners just to know that even in the midst of the struggle, amen, the struggle, girl, we are gonna be all right. And also for us to share the shit that we're going through. So I'm gonna first ask you, John, how is you for real?
How is me for real? This is a really good question. Because I talk a lot of shit on this podcast. And I know we do a
Yes.
lot of dope shit, right? We do a lot of dope shit. I wanna shout you out again. Mother was given an award by her city for the amazing work that she's done. Obviously, she's doing stuff for Pride. You just finished San Diego Pride, and now you're getting ready to roll into Black Pride, which again, I'm still trying to figure out which day I'm gonna be there, but I am going to come and support you one of those days. I just got to figure out which day I'm gonna have the energy or the space to take off to get down there.
Mhm,
But I
mhm.
say all that to say, I think people don't recognize that both me and you, even with all of the dope shit that we're doing, right? Both for the community, for ourselves, for our families, for our friends, for the people we love, for the world, right? We still have like work. We still have real work we have to do. And so I think for me, like while my 9 to 5 has been a huge struggle for me, and when I say struggle, I don't say that in like, oh, my job is terrible. I say it in the sense of like I work with, obviously everybody knows I work with LGBTQ youth, and transitional age youth. And so all of the stuff that's coming down in the government is impacting our youth in some kind of way, whether it's their mental health, whether it's around access to care, whether it's, we just recently had a youth reach out to us and tell us that they were homeless, right? Or they were houseless. And so having
Mm,
to deal with all of that in the midst of like trying to make sure that they're safe and trying to make sure that even we as an org have everything we need, it's a lot, right? But at the same time, I think the thing about all of the stuff we've been doing and what has been keeping me so lifted, and even the moments when I feel like all of this stuff is so heavy, is knowing that we're sending a greater message of like, not only are LGBTQ youth going to always be here, but we're always going to be here, right? We even if we're not here in a physical form, our legacy and our voices, right? We have 161, like this episode is episode 161. There are 161 episodes of this show for people to reference
oof,
and go back to and
girl,
and be able to pull from, right? So it's a lot of work.
we got a
It's a lot of
catalog. We
work.
got a catalog, girl.
It's we have a catalog, and so I say that while I'm in the throes of like life and trying to work, I'm also in the throes of scheming up a second book, and I just applied to a documentary fellowship with Netflix. And I'm also trying to start thinking about opening back up this film that I started during the pandemic, that I'm like, I actually think I might have a new take on it, and I might actually be able to sell it. And there's all of these things. And so as much as I feel like there's a lot going on around me in terms of like how bad it can feel, I'm also very, very, very I'm just grateful. And I posted this last night, do I want more? Yes. Do I think I deserve more? Hell yeah. Or do I think we deserve more? Hell yeah. But I'm also in a place of like, yo, like I'm okay with this world and this life that we've built. And so I've been thinking a lot about that. But I also will say this too. I'm also resting more, which I think is kind of odd considering that I feel like I always have something on my to-do list. But
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like I'm giving myself more agency to just be like, you don't have to do this today. Like it used to be like, oh, I got to get this done so I can get this done so that way I could be done. And then everybody can, and it was, oh, look how busy I am. Look how busy I am. And it's like, no, I'm not that. I just feel like I'm not that girl anymore. I really feel like I've just gotten to this place now where I think I'm starting to get back to myself after really truly a year of not feeling like myself. Like 2024 into
Mm.
2025, I really didn't feel like me. And I feel like now I'm kind of sitting and looking around and I'm going, actually, I think I'm back to the John that where I feel good in this body. I feel good in
Mm.
this work. I feel good in this moment. And so, yeah, what about you, baby?
Oh, girl. I'm really happy to hear this for you. I really love this for you so very much. And I want to identify this feeling. Because
Hmm.
I'm trying to return to myself this year. I think the past few years have lost myself, the things that made me center me. And like
Mm.
in some ways, like I'm changing a lot, as well too. Like, but it's weird. Like I'm in a weird place. So I was at the doctor recently, and then, I'm just like for like a checkup and physical and stuff. I've had my
Yeah.
labs done, and I don't know my numbers, but I'm certain they're gonna be not great. But I'm also at the doctor realized that I'm the biggest I've ever been, which I was a bit shocked by. Like I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting that happened. Like I felt like to be a bit bigger than last time, but I was like, oh, she's at the number that I did not think she was going to be at. Which is also an interesting feeling because I'm also the most confident in myself and my body that I've ever been, which is like
Yeah.
a weird paradox. Because like yeah, like I'm just like I'm like sitting with that a lot and being like, okay, I'm in a place where I'm in my biggest and what I mean, like,
Mm.
right, like, and like what some would call, I'm sure what some would say unhealthy. And also like I feel like I feel like my most like connected to or the desirable in this way, not connected to myself, because I feel like I am connected to myself, but I
Mm.
feel like my
Mm-hmm.
most like desirable in some ways. But I also know that I do want this body to change because I know there are several factors impacting my health, like my sleep pattern, my stress level, like my nutritional intake. Like those are those. I know those have not been good. Like I don't have a regular sleep schedule. I'm not sleeping. Like I keep fucking my sleep up. I'm not like cooking in the ways that I used to.
Mm.
I
Mm-hmm.
know like my stress level is high, and so it's like I'm simultaneously in my best and my worst eras. Like in my work, I'm in my best era. Like I am thriving what I'm doing. I think I'm a part of a lot of amazing change through the podcast, my 9 to 5 job, Black Pride, and the 5011 other projects that I'm working on. Like I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I'm thriving. I feel like I'm making a great name for myself in my community. Like people like know and love me, and I feel really connected to that. But my internal self is struggling a lot. Like I feel chaotic
Mm.
often, tired and unmotivated to change things. Like my room is constantly a mess. It has not been cleaned probably for like a good like quarter, honestly. And I just have no desire to clean it. Like I feel like things just keep piling on. I don't know how to take it out. Like I truly feel stuck in myself. And I don't know how to get out of this rut. Sometimes like I just like and I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm like doing therapy a bit more regularly, and it's like I am struggling with decision making. I'm struggling with being like an enforcer on things like my own boundaries or like regulations that we have like in the work that I do. And I'm struggling with like just movement when I feel like stuck.
Yeah.
Um, and it's been a interesting first half of the year. And it's also weird because I feel like beginning of the year I had so many thoughts of how I was going to shift this, and now it's 7 months in. I'm like, well, I've done nothing, girl.
So we're
Not
still
I've done
here.
nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
so we're still
but I
here.
think I hear you, but I think, friend to friend, sister to sister on the mic, I think there's a part of us sometimes that we kind of just have to sit in what I like to call the mess. And I'll say, like, I know for me personally, 2022 was that year for me. Like, I was not my best. I was not my healthiest. I was not my wellest in 2022 in a lot of different ways. And that's partly why I got on mental health medication, was because I knew that I was not I was not handling life personally, like as a human, I was not handling it well. And I think that, and so now, even now in 2025, I've even had to recognize that, a bitch needs help. And when I say that, what I mean is, I want to say this not coming from a place of privilege, but from a place of like, but I do have a double income and I do work multiple, I have multiple streams. And so every once in a while I can put money aside and say, I'm gonna have someone come in here and clean up this mess,
Yeah,
do the deep cleaning, put stuff away, throw stuff away. Like I need to hire someone to help me come clean out my garage. Like those are the things that I'm doing. Like just kind of setting goals. And I think that might be the thing that may help you, just kind of
yeah,
don't feel like you have to all do it today, Joho. Like, I think it might be good for you to just say, let me set this really small baby goal for
yeah,
Joho and then just attain it. Take it one day at a time. But I hear you. I understand what it feels like to be like, I'm all over the place mentally, emotionally, and that, but and I'm thriving in this area, but this moment is you got me, girl.
you
You
got me,
got
yeah,
me.
you
You
got me,
got me,
yeah.
gal.
Whew,
Yeah.
yes,
It's all
thank
right.
you.
It's okay.
Yeah,
You're human.
yeah. Whew, so let's
Mhm.
just say in quarter three, I need to make this my turning point because I am like I'm also like I'm quite tired of feeling like this.
I got
Um,
you.
especially
Mm,
I want my internal self and my external self to match each other, and they're deeply disconnected right now. And I want them
mm.
to be connected in really good, positive, abundant ways. So Yeah, I need to send the mess. I like and like I do want to have someone like I think we're gonna have someone. I want someone to come deep clean this place. Like I have to
Mhm.
like clean it up before they can do that, and that's even the
But
issue.
honestly, let's talk about it. You honestly don't, and I think there
You think
this
I just
whole
have?
conversation about we gotta clean before the cleaner comes. Nah, sometimes the cleaner just gonna have to see the mess.
I mean, I
Sorry.
guess, but is the cleaner gonna throw it all out? Like, who's gonna throw it out? I have to throw. I gotta throw shit out. Like,
I get what you're saying.
yeah, shit.
Okay.
I
Mhm.
don't need I don't need this mail from 6 months ago. I have on my desk currently. Like, I don't
True,
need this,
true.
but
Mhm.
I'm like, do I? And it's also like a great realization of like when you have a hoarder, like as a parent, and they like are scarcity mentality,
Yeah,
and
girl.
like and they taught you to keep everything for no reason. Like
Mhm.
that and like that has
Mhm.
sucked, like, and I have, like, one parent who, like, has no problem throwing shit out, like, my mom has no problem, she will be like, "Thoughts of the shit." My dad, like, this dude would he made us keep our, like, 40-year-old stereo, vinyl set, even though it was broken,
Yeah.
for, like, a decade. Like, it wasn't until
Yeah.
he died that we threw it out, 'cause like, we don't need this anymore, right? And so, like,
Mhm.
his scarcity-based stuff is, like, all up in my body, and I'm like, "I must keep this mail because you never know who might the IRS might come to my house one day and say, 'Hey, girl, do you have a piece of mail from 6 months
No,
ago
and you
on
can
that
go
check?'"
online, and that's why I've been very much more comfortable with just throwing stuff away because I'm in the mind of like, a lot of even places, like even people don't know this about Apple. Like there was this whole thing for years where people were like, "Oh, keep your Apple boxes because you may have to return it or you may have to sell it." And a lot of times people don't even care about the box. Long as the cereal matches with
Yeah.
Apple as the company, they don't care. So and then same thing when you take it back, most of the time they're like, "Oh, we don't need the box. Just
Yeah,
give us
it's
the
the
product."
laptop, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, just give us the product. We don't need the
That's so
box.
fair, that's so fair.
Yeah, so
I mean,
it's
because
okay.
back in the day, back in the day, we did need the box, and now they have everything's electronic, so, okay,
Mhm.
y'all, let me calm down before I get too far on this. Now that we have done some self-assessments, I've done a lot of self-assessing today. We don't want to make an ass of ourselves, and we done some this bitch. We done some self-assessment, but I don't want to make an ass out of ourselves. Thus, we are going to take a moment. Sometimes, sometimes you listen, y'all. You know who wrote the the outros when when during some of our
I'm
episodes. Because
screaming.
this bitch is
Yeah.
silly. This bitch is we gotta take a moment to pay these bills and come back to the category is segment more in a sec.
All right, y'all. So we are back with our category is segment. And this week for the category, y'all know how I feel. All roads always lead back to Drag Race. But this week, we are talking about Drag Race, but we're not going to talk about it in the ways that you probably think we're going to talk about it, right? While this could be a standard, what I liked about season 10, what I didn't like about season 10, I initially wanted to talk about something that I have been thinking a lot about. Specifically, folks have brought it up to me as I was on my book tour, and ultimately, you can go buy that now wherever you get your books. But all that to be said, season 10 so I'll say this, there were a lot of moments in season 10 that I liked more that I liked than other seasons, but specifically there were a couple of moments that made me want to throw my Apple TV out the window. And I felt like we really needed to kind of dissect those moments. And you probably all know where we're going. You probably all know what we're going to be talking about. So first, there are two things that I wanted to say before we get into kind of like a nuanced conversation. So first, I wanted to say that this was Aja's redemption season. And even
Mhm.
though
Agreed.
I don't think Aja ever really needed a redemption because I think Aja has been great every season that they've been on. I know their first season it was a little rough and it was a little hard for them because they were in the same season as Valentina and everyone was comparing her to Valentina and it was all of these different things. I still felt like Aja was a great I think Aja's fantastic. I loved her before and now this season made me love her even more. I felt like the first season we saw her craft, the first All Stars, we saw her kind of blossom, And we also saw how mean the girls could be to the girls who are starting to blossom. But this season, we really got to see Aja. And that's the thing I really, really loved is just, she just, it made me love her even more.
Mm.
The next thing I wanted to say is that while Ginger deserves everything, obviously a lot of folks were circulating this notion of she's the only girl to win as many lip syncs as she's won. Like she's won consecutively, I think 10 or like 11 lip syncs. Actually, I think it might even be 12. Um, Ginger has deserved. I want to make that very clear that this is not a takedown of Ginger or any of the other queens on this show because I don't believe in that. I believe Ginger has been that girl and will continue to always be that girl.
Yerp.
What I want to say is I have a problem with, and I think that's what we're going to get into, the idea that World of Wonder only saw her fit to be a queen after she lost the weight. And
Mm.
that got me to thinking like this idea of like we've seen like it for someone to win 12 lip syncs, you couldn't have given her a crown before this weight loss thing. And so not to say that that's what, like, again, I don't know the full scope of what producer picked what producer made what decision, what conversations they were in with Rue, because I was not in
Mm.
that room. But
Mm.
it looks fishy to me as a big girl that the moment that she comes back 6 months later, almost 100 pounds thinner, we build a whole um we build a whole storyline around that, and then we crown her. It really just got me to thinking how television, specifically shows like Drag Race, continue to perpetuate fat phobia in the LGBTQ community. And so I wanted to
Mm.
kind of have a dual lens convo with you. Obviously, I know you mentioned in the segment before, you're saying I'm in a bigger body. I'm trying to figure out, my space in this body. And even for me, I'm dealing kind of with the flip, right? I have not been super public about it, but people around me know that I am on Ozempic. I'm not on Ozempic because I'm trying to lose weight. I genuinely do not care. Um, I am still working out regularly. I'm doing everything that I was doing prior to getting on Ozempic, but I'm on Ozempic because I'm trying to keep my sugar together, which it helps with, right?
Mhm.
My sugar is
Was
pretty much
designed
perfect
for in
at
the
this
first
point.
place.
Right. My sugar is perfect. I don't eat as much, and that's the thing that really sucks is that the things that I love to eat, I truly cannot eat. I'm not picking and choosing to not eat things. It's my body is genuinely not responding to the things that I enjoy eating. And so I've stopped eating them. But I say all of this to say, with coming out, quote unquote, as an Ozempic user, right? And even battling the guilt of people clocking me and saying, "Oh, John, you look slimmer," and being like, thanks. Like I don't I that's like having to tell people up front that's not a compliment. That's how I've been battling kind of this thing because I know people notice that I'm losing weight and I'm having to like battle that and let people know like, hey, I don't see weight loss as a compliment to me. So thanks, but no thanks.
Mm.
And having that. But I really wanted to get onto this notion of like what
Mm.
has been your experience with fat phobia? Like, because I know we talked about it in other facets on this show, but I don't think that we've never anchored it in a conversation. So I think I would love to talk about fat phobia, maybe how you felt it, how you feel it, and then think about how like RuPaul's Drag Race specifically this season has
Yeah.
driven maybe the fat phobia or the feelings that we have about our own bodies after seeing two separate instances on this season of people losing weight and it being like lauded and celebrated. So,
Yeah. Like I want to hark a little bit to what I said earlier, like because when I was talking about I said I was at my biggest, and I said I want my body to change, and I didn't say like I particularly want to lose weight or not lose weight. And I want to be really clear with
right.
listeners that like why I said that because and I said like there are several factors impacting my health: my sleep pattern, nutritional intake, and like blah blah blah. Like, but I never said like my weight impacts my health because that's not
No.
the language I'm trying to use. Because even at my lowest, and 2 years ago I was at my lowest weight ever, and I was at quote unquote like my healthiest in terms of like my numbers were all great. Like I was still well and to purposes an obese person. I was still a big girl, and so like I have
Mhm.
no
Mhm.
I personally have no desire for thinness. I don't desire thinness. I don't feel
Right.
like thinness is going to be the transaction that I need in my life to feel good
Same.
about myself.
Same.
You know, and my point is, I want to change things. I want to change my body in the way that I'm treating it, so I'm not treating it well with my lack of sleep, my lack of like proper attention to what I'm making or putting in
Yeah.
my body and stuff.
I hear what
And
you're
so
saying. Yeah.
I want to be clear about that with people because I want to say like fat phobia does bully people into being thin.
Yep.
It often does. Fat phobia bullies people into seeking ways like medically to change their bodies that then they
Yep.
may end up hating in the future. And like
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever want fat phobia to bully me into anything.
Right.
So like if and when my body changes, it won't be because fat phobia is bullying me. Like it's because I feel like I need to make changes like for my own just like well-being. And
Mm-hmm.
and my body will likely still be a big body. And so like people need to really accept that.
Yeah.
I think my relationship to fat phobia has changed over the years for sure. Because part of me believes that confidence is actually everything sometimes. And like you and I were talking about this over text the other day, right? Like when you love yourself, people notice. And so people are generally more drawn to you when you're feeling yourself.
True.
No matter your size. And like a lot of times fat phobia, right, gives you a negative sense of self and false sense of self. So not only do they hate fat people, but they also like make you easier to feel targeted or to feel attacked because you don't like feel
It's
and
a
love
how
yourself.
dare you, right? It's a
Yes.
how dare you like your body? How dare you
But
be
then
okay in your
right,
body?
if they say how dare you, and then you also believe it. And
Right. Right.
when you believe it is when fat phobia wins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Through a social lens. Fat phobia also wins when it comes to like buying seats in theaters or airline tickets, right? Like fat phobia wins again in that way because it's actually not made for your body, and you have to fight like, how do I fit in this or find something more comfortable for me?
Right.
You know, and so I, you know, so like I think it's like people. So I think people are more drawn to you when you're feeling yourself, no matter your size. But and some people are definitely more likely to try and peg you down. But your confidence
Mm-hmm.
can't shake in that. Um, so I don't think that phobia has kept me from making many friendships in my adult life. But I also acknowledge that not to like be like not to brag, like not to be like not to like talk my shit, but like I acknowledge that I'm kind of a 10 in personality. Like I know I am. In personality, I'm a 10. And and so for fat folks who are maybe more shy, right? And like maybe it feels different for folks who don't have who don't feel that way about themselves. Like maybe it feels different for them. I also think it
Yeah.
depends on what community you live in. Like fat phobia in San Diego will manifest differently than fat phobia in WeHo or San Francisco or Texas or any other state,
Say
right?
that. Say that.
Because
That's so real. That's so real.
like I do not love the WeHo gays. Like there's not my type of gays. Those gays think they can hurt me, they cannot. But I literally am like, you guys, y'all, not you, not all, but like not to be general, but like many WeHo gays, like I cannot stand. And you know, and you know, and
Plethora.
but a plethora of WeHo gays, yes. And you know, I might say also might be a bit biased because I made a little bit of like a name for myself here in San Diego too. So people like see me and respect me for like who I am and what I do. But I can say that I feel it more during large events when we get tourists here, right? Like when we get tourists here from
Right.
other states or across the
Mm-hmm.
state, I'm like, oh, the fat phobia is persisting because these people are coming in from their own cities with like with their conceived notions. At Pride Weekend, there was this guy who was not from San Diego who was definitely being a little bit
Not this gay, but go off. I'm sorry. That was just funny to me.
too rowdy with me.
Yeah.
And I was like, baby, I'm the one of the two because like you don't know who I am, that's totally fine. But like here and not not that I'm somebody, like that I'm somebody, but here like I'm beloved by my
No,
community.
no, no, no,
So
no,
like
no. So what
I
what
need
we're
you to
not
calm
gonna
down.
do? Pause. What we're not gonna do is take away the fact that you are a local celebrity. So the reality is, bitch, this is not your home. This is not your house, right?
Like in this
Like I
house, you are a
you
guest, girl. So
hello,
you need to
say
calm down.
that.
Like you are a
Yes,
guest in
bitch,
this house,
no.
okay?
On that. On
As
that.
Beyonce says, if like we should if you like get the fuck up out my house, if you don't respect my house, get the fuck up my house.
Get the fuck up out my
Who
house.
let these goons all in my house?
Who? That is the title of this
Please.
episode.
Who let
Who
these
let these
these
goons
goons
in
all in
my
my
house?
house?
But go off.
Please. So yeah, so
Yes.
I feel it more than, or it definitely manifests when it comes to dating, right? Like I get a lot of DL people, unfortunately. Sometimes some DL trade, how you doing? Or open relationships who want to engage sexually with a body like mine, but maybe not actively date, which is also how fat-phobia manifests, right? And after
Right.
decide, after decide, like, what's my comfortability with this? Do I say like it's actually okay that like that people just want to fuck, or is it doesn't make me feel some type of way?
Right.
And also like there are people who do want to date, who do want to actively date, but it's like mine. And I'm seeing that too, and I'm dating those people versus like only accepting like sex from this person. And in many cases, like in my case, I don't want sex in that way. I don't want sex in that way from people. So like all the DL dudes who are trying to get into me and trying to get in me,
Mm-hmm.
like I just like thank you and I appreciate it, but like I don't need to be doing that. Like I
Mm-hmm.
want to be with somebody who wants to be with me publicly, and that's the person. That's the people I'm seeing. So
Right.
I think the way that Drag Race is something that impacts this. One is because whether we love it or hate it, many of us watch Drag Race. And I'm not saying
Mm-hmm.
that Drag Race is what drives fat phobia, because that's not true, right? There's always been big girls on the show and big girls in our community. But I think Drag Race's part in this is that those girls, those big girls, have always had to be exceptional. And they're
Mm-hmm.
kind of seen as underdogs too in some way, which I don't think is fair. Because why do big girls have to be surprisingly good, right? Like everyone's like surprised that they're good. Like Ginger Midge, despite her pageantry, her pageant background, was an underdog in her first season that she was in her and in her All Star season, right? Latrice Royale, an underdog, despite her background and her talent that she's had. And
Right.
so these are folks that like, right, that like have no matter what accolades that they have,
Mm-hmm.
people are still like surprised by them being good because they're big girls, because they have to be exceptional to be seen as something, right? Then
Yeah.
then people hold you up to their standards, right? Like, are you as funny as Latrice or Ginger? Are you as shady as Mistress Isabel Brooks? Then becomes a comparison because God forbid a fat bitch isn't funny or bullies you for your
Right.
entertainment,
Right. They're
right?
just they're just there
Like God
for
forbid a fat
talent.
bitch is just being a fat bitch and just wants to be there.
Right.
I wrote this a few years ago, um, in Wear Your Voice magazine when it was around, RIP Wear Your Voice magazine, about what I call
Oh.
it was called the fat funny syndrome. Like as a fat
Mm-hmm.
person, you have to be funny to be seen as a real or worthy person for anything that you want. You have to be seen as funny. What I didn't write about is the flip side of this coin. If you're not funny, then you have to be a bully to be seen. Now, of course, right,
Mm.
like I don't want to perpetuate this binary in some ways. In some ways, I think it's actually been enforced on fat bodies. Like, I don't think it's actually been our decision to participate in this. Like I think it's more about it's been enforced upon us that the world is like, if you're fat, you have to be funny or a bully for someone to see you and take you seriously in life, right? And
Mm.
I've had to really check myself on my performing in public. Like, am I trying to validate myself as a fat person to take out space by being extra funny, right? Or can I just take up space and help me because I deserve to? And I think
Mm.
and I think I think it was interesting seeing Mistress in this season, right? Because uh in her in her first bracket she was a big girl. Then
Right.
in her second bracket she was a much smaller girl, and right, and people and like it became part of like a running joke in some ways too. And I mean, Mistress, I feel like I I I think she is like one of the most polished drag queens ever. I really do. Like I love her drag. Um, I think she, I think she's Gorgina. I think she is like as a drag person, she's You cannot say she's not polished in drag.
My mom taught me that when I have nothing good to
Then
say,
say nothing.
don't say nothing at all. So
But I think
we all have
as a
decisions. Mm-hmm.
competitor, I think she is a bully. And
Mm-hmm.
she clouds it in like shade and being fun and like having a key. But like that moment where she went haha in Aja's ear, and this is my point about Aja's your point, right? But goes to next to your point about Aja's redemption season. If I was Aja, oh, drag would have been a contact sport on site. If
They
you
would have had to remove me. They would have had
you've
to
had to
remove me.
grab me by my hair to pull me out of that place because I would have
Yeah.
smacked that bitch down. And she pulled my hair.
Yeah.
She took my hand. She said, "Ha ha." I no. And Aja,
Yeah.
bless, kinder than I. She
Aja
she
will
said, "You're
always
doing too
be
much. You're doing
a
too much.
gold star in my book because that is a moment that made me respect Aja so
'Cause
much more.
she even said, like, 2 years ago, me would smack the hoe down, but me today say it's not worth it, and
Yeah.
I said, "Girl, you're better than
Yeah.
that." 'Cause I would have pulled that bitch by her teeth and said, "Do it again. Do it
Oh,
again,
yeah.
girl.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
DIA,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
please.
Uh-huh.
DIA or you are DOA to me." Like, I cannot
Mhm.
just, like, yeah, and so I think, I think, like, she is someone that I feel, right, and then, like, and people joke that when you lose weight you aren't funny. And like if you're funny, you aren't funny anymore.
True.
Or
Right, right,
like,
right.
or you become a bigger bully, right? And like, and so and like, because I was watching the episode where she was like where they were like, congratulations, Mitch, like when the listening, you did a good job, and she was like, thanks so much, I'm amazing, and then looked at the camera the whole time, where she was having like some like weird odd meltdown, which I don't know if she was serious or if it was good TV, whatever. But like, I was watching with a group of fat folks, and we're all saying like it's annoying because like she objectively is good, but now she's like leaning in more to like the bully aspect. And so
Yeah.
so you're right, and so it's like can we take up space as fat people as well without being a bully? Which leads me to
Mhm.
my question for you. Like, what are your thoughts on the portrayals of fat people as villains in television, and especially on
Mhm.
this show?
Yeah, I love that we were able to get here because I think about a lot of characters who are, chubby, thick, whatever you wanna call them, right? But, um I want to say my thoughts connect, but they don't connect. But I think about like, so for instance, like my first real visual of a fat villain was Ursula, right? In Little
Mm,
Mermaid. And I never thought about, this idea of her being evil was really linked to this idea that she was a fat sea witch, right? And
mhm,
so this idea of like even from a young age, Disney was telling me, don't be fat, don't be fat or you'll be considered evil. And, and again, this
mm,
idea that most, if not all people who are bigger are framed as evil in some regards through media, right? And even in moments where I've seen them try to take the weight out of the equation and like you said, it goes back to your point of they're less like, so I think about this. So like I'm in this moment, it's not in our notes, but I think about this film. I don't know the name of this film, but I kept getting it on my Instagram. It was being marketed. Um to me, and it was about this fat man, or this fat this actor. He's a chubbier actor falling in love with a skinny person, and it was a film that came out, and I kept seeing the ads for it. And even in that, I had to like step back and think about it and be like, well, what are they trying to say in this film? And even though I know he was part of the person who was in the role as a part of the writing of the film, there still is this notion that even for him as a fat person, he could not just find love because of who he was. It was, oh, I'm a fat person who doesn't deserve love, but I found love. And so look
mm,
at me, yay. And so, like, there's always something to be said around the way our bodies are framed. And so, specifically, when you're talking about, this villain era or this villain piece, right? I think about the way that they framed Eureka in her season. And I'll be transparent in saying, I've never really cared for the bitch because she's racist. And I say all of that to say, if you think I'm just saying that to say that, go Google it. You can find it. It's there. There are things that she has said and done in the past that have made me go, I don't necessarily see it for her. I really still to this day think that she owes the villain an apology for the way that the vixen, sorry. I think that she owes the vixen an apology for the way that she treated her during her season, but I don't really want to get too deep into that. But what I will say is that I can say that two truths exist at the same time. They literally, and I say they, meaning the producers, I am almost certain that they were telling Eureka, amp it up, amp it up, amp it up, because they knew it made good TV, but also
mm,
because Eureka was the big girl of her season, and they knew Eureka was going to, create that moment to be the villain, right? And so it really I wouldn't say it pains me, but it really irks me. That's the word. I think irk is a good word.
mm,
That chubby people, regardless of they're just being themselves, some way, somehow so I'll even say this, like, it gets more complicated when we add in brownness and blackness to the mix, right? So thinking about like Silky and the experience Silky had on her season, right? Silky couldn't just be a very talented queen. out the gate they were saying, "Oh, Silky is loud, Silky is this, Silky is that," right? And so it just there's just this unwritten thing that I feel like even not even just all competition shows. It's not even just Drag Race. When there is a fat girl or a big girl on the show, they have to be snarky or quirky, and they have to be really cute, and they have to be likable. And it's also that way people don't see their size, right? And then if they're not, then like you said, they fall into this like very, I can throw jabs at the best of them, and I can, it's just ugly. It's just really
It's
ugly.
we have to be non-threatening. Like
Mhm.
we have to be make ourselves small and be non-threatening to other people,
And
or we risk or we risk being named as the villain or or the bulldozer. Like I think the
mhm.
point about being loud, right? It's like we always ask questions like why are you so loud and never ask the question of like what did the world do to make you feel like you had to be loud to be heard. We never ask the question of
Hello. Hello.
we never ask the question of like why the world tried and silence you so much so you feel
Uh-huh.
like you had to be loud, right? Like and
So you have to be the loudest person in the room. Yeah.
and in some cases like being loud isn't bad. Like being loud really is bad. I'm working I'm like working through for a president like at present I'm seeing a guy who like is louder than me and like it's shocking so I'm like oh I'm a loud ass bitch. But he's louder than me and I'm having to like work through my own experience like my own like this real time of like oh like what's my issue with him being loud, right? Like what's my actual issue? Like what's actually like is it that he's too loud or is it like I feel like my level of loud is the acceptable loud and I feel like his isn't and why is that? Right? Because the question
Mm.
isn't why is he loud? The question actually is why do I think my level of loud is acceptable and his is not? And like
Mhm.
that's why I have to interrogate myself. And so I think like I think like you're absolutely right. Like fat people are given the villain edit in many things, right? Like how many fat villains are there? You have Jabba the Hutt from Star Wars, you have Dr. Eggman from Sonic the Hedgehog, you have
Yeah.
you have that fucking giant Michelin man ghost from Ghostbusters. Like all the villains are fat bitches for some reason. Because like one because like is it fun or funny to people to like make fat people the villain? Is it fun or funny
Mhm.
to people to like take us down? Right. And like and like Ursula, like I think Ursula's a great case study of like when it means to be fat and be a villain because like and I find interesting that you read as like Disney hates fat people because I saw it as like Ursula's so queer coded, like she's so queer coded,
Oh, and
and
she is. And she is.
and
Yeah.
she's a big girl, but like her being like a big girl wasn't. I like, and I haven't watched it in a long time. But like her being a big girl was like never part of the equation or problem for her. She was just a sea witch who also like wanted to cast spells on people and like cause havoc, right? And I'm sure people were like, oh, she's a big girl, so she's automatically mean or rude, which I think is horrible. But like it also sounds like she just wants to be like seen and cared for and protected, right? Like she was outcast for being a sea witch, and it's like, well, maybe she was an outcast for being a sea witch. She didn't want to steal Ariel's voice, right?
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
people just the question they have is why are you evil, and no one asks the question what happened to you that made you this
What
way.
made you evil?
Like
What made you evil?
no one
Mhm.
asks that question at all, and I'm like, y'all need we need to think more critically together as people, and stop actually like stop asking about the symptom and ask about the cause because the
Yeah.
symptom because like you're trying to address a symptom that isn't like you aren't gonna find the answer to that symptom because you aren't looking at the cause of that symptom in the first place, and so I wish
Mhm.
people would like really think about that when it comes to how fat folks are painted in television, right? And I think with Drag Race, I think it's just so easy. One, and at the end of the day, it makes good TV. And the formula of Drag Race or any reality show is they want to make good TV.
They want
Um,
something people are gonna keep
People
watching
are
and
going
wanna
to
come back
watch,
to.
make battle clips
Mhm.
for XYZ. And so and they like there are some big girls who are in on the joke too. And I have no problem with the big girls who are in on the joke too. But give the big girls agency and have their own edit, right? Let them be a villain because they actually want to be a villain. Let them be
Right.
good because they want to be like don't make them be just because like you don't agree with them or because they're like taking up too much space. Um Ooh, yeah, that's a lot.
Mhm.
I'm thinking a lot about Silky because I feel like I feel like people thought People saw Silky as a villain. Well, they also they also call her at a time. I feel like in her first season, when she came out as voting Republican, it was a bit wild. And I understood her thought process as to why she did
Same.
that.
Hmm.
And I was like, there's some secrets I just take to the grave. Like no one never needs to know that. And
Baby, we gonna get there. We're gonna
if you
get
ha-
there. There
if you
are
ha-
things.
if you have to explain your thought process to me, girl, I do not think it's worth it to bring up on the show.
Don't. Oh,
think
not
and I think
everything needs to be
be
in
out
the
loud,
public.
like, yeah, and so I think, like, that's partially why they made her a villain. And she was loud, but I'm like, was she loud or was she just asking for what she deserved? Like, was she just asking for what she deserved? Like, was she actually loud and obnoxious, or was she just saying, "I want to be seen as a competitor too, and like a worthy competitor, like for
Mhm,
who I
mhm.
am."
'Cause
And
if they were gonna ask me to lip sync, I
oh,
was
what? Fucking
motherfucking
right,
ready.
bitch. That right down to this
Mhm,
day.
mhm.
Because I'm like, girl, like what? Like again, like what was the reason you went that hard?
What
Oh,
was
what
the
up,
reason? Bitch, what was
motherfucking
the
ready?
reason?
Okay, girl, you
Yeah,
weren't ready.
yeah.
Anyways, so I
Mhm.
guess like my real question with you, I struggle to ask this because I don't like. Do we think Rue has beef with the big girls?
Yes, but I will say this. So I'm gonna say this, and I know because I know we need to we have to jet. What I will say is this. I think we are all inherently fat phobic to some degree, even the big girls, right? We are all tall, and it is like it's just the same, it's the same way we're discriminatory, even
Mhm.
if we're trying not to be, right? Like we have to wake up every day saying, I'm gonna be less discriminatory. It's the way that transphobia is beat into our heads, and we have
Yeah.
to we have to undo the transphobia that way. So we're all inherently something, and I think to a degree we are all inherently fat phobic, and it is heightened when you are queer, right? And so I think about it the way I think about it, and again, not everyone may see it this way, but this is how I've processed it. You can't control your race, right?
Mhm.
We don't get a choice on the hue of our color. We can't. Some of us can, but most of us can't, right? When you're black, you're black. There are we all know that, right? You
Mhm.
can't control your queerness, whether you tuck it away or whether you engage it, right? You're still queer in some facet. And so that's something you can't control if you have moved into this notion of this is who I am. Um but you can control your size. At least that's what the world tells you, and that's what the community wants you to believe. And so, in order to be accepted and deemed fuckable, you have to exhibit anything that's desirable. And I
Mhm.
think that's the ugliness and the really damning
Mhm.
part of it. We live at the crux. We work at the crux, right? So even going back to like let's go back to Black Fat Femme, right, as a
Mhm.
show. The idea that it took us so long, like I initially started this deck or this idea for this show in 2018. It did not get sold until 2021. And I've said this and I will keep saying this because I want people to know a lot of people love the idea of when I told them, "Oh, the show was black." Oh, everyone was like, "Yes, we love a black coded show." When I told them that it had queer, and oh, slay bitch, slay queen, da 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 da. But the idea of when I put fat in the title and that I wanted to center this notion of being fat and being happy about my size, that's when people started being like, "There's no market for it. We don't have anywhere to market. We don't know the clientele. We don't know the people who would listen
Mhm.
to a show where blackness, fatness, and queerness are celebrated, right? And so it's this notion that we live at the center of a world that doesn't see fatness as profitable. That doesn't see fatness as, and again, I don't say profitable in a positive way. I say profitable in the sense of capitalism because we all know capitalism is the bane of everybody's existence.
Or it's only
But what I'm
profitable if they can exploit it.
if they can't explain, and that's the thing. When you are a fat person and you say you're not going to exploit me, then that's when producers and people like RuPaul
Yeah.
have a problem with you, right? It's the same reason why I don't I've stopped being asked to write articles, right? Even after publishing a book that has sold close to 3,000 copies. people don't want me writing about my joy. People don't want me
Mm,
writing about this idea of, oh, I love myself and I like myself, right? And that's partly why I also believe it's not a a New York Times bestseller, because my book is not about the degradation of my body and the way I see myself. It's about me telling other Black fat femmes or other people
mm,
in general who are of size that they can like and love who they are too. And so I
mm,
think that's what RuPaul has a problem with. I think RuPaul has a problem with the idea of like, I think it's an exploitation issue, right? We can't get good TV out of a fat girl who's not funny or is not a villain. And so because Ginger, and so again, I'm not saying that this was the thing, but I this is where I'm gonna say, this is where I'm gonna leave it. I want to know, I would love to sit down with both Mistress, even though I'm not a fan, and Ginger. I want to make that very clear that I am not a fan of Mistress Isabel Brooks. We can get into that a different day because we're already very close to time. But what I will say is this. I would love to sit down and talk to them and ask them how many times they were told that their career wouldn't go the way they wanted to go if they didn't lose weight, and to
mm,
see what that correlation was to them. And
mm,
I'm sure they'll have, oh, I wanted to be healthier, I wanted to do okay, girl, cut the bullshit. How many times did a producer or did somebody on a television show tell you, or somebody in entertainment tell you, that you couldn't be successful at your size? And I would love to see I would love to be able to sit down from a true, and again, this is also me popping my shit, from a true qualitative narrative, you know, flat-footed research standpoint. I would love to know what their stories are. And I would love to know how many times Rue stepped in and said, you're doing a great job being yourself. You're great. Or if Rue had something to do with that. And I already know
mm,
that I'm pretty sure somebody from World of Wonder knows who I am and knows that I talk a lot of shit about the show. So I'm almost certain that they'll probably never, ever have anything to do with me. So that's why I talk so freely about how much I have an issue with them as a production company. I believe that they are fueling, or that they have had something to do with the idea that these girls felt the need to take 6 months off and do whatever they needed to do to lose weight. It just, something about that bugs me. And like I said, I know for a fact that that it started somewhere in Drag Race. I know it in the bottom of my heart
mm,
that that's where it came from. And so it's just ugly. It's really ugly to me. And as much as I like RuPaul for, I wouldn't say I like RuPaul, that I'm grateful for what RuPaul has done for us, for the queer community, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I still have a lot of beef with her, because my thing becomes, you can't celebrate one facet of the queer community and then beat up and treat the other part of that community like shit. And that's what I feel like we do to fat girls in our community.
mm,
I feel like we tell them, oh, love yourself, love who you are, be who you are. Okay, well, who I am is a big girl, is somebody who likes the size of my body. Oh, you're ugly. You're not lovable. You're not dateable, right? Because you're a bigger size person. Well, where's the truth in that? Do you really want me to be myself, or do you want me to be what you want me to be? And that's the issue that I have so fragrantly. So I hope that made sense, because I felt like I was talking all over the place, but um, it's just it's really damning to me. And I know we need to, yeah. Do you have anything else you want to add? Nope. Yeah. So okay, y'all. But anyway, now that we have officially been banned from World of Wonder or doing anything with RuPaul's Drag Race, which I anything with RuPaul's Drag Race, which I know they hate to turn this show on every time, being like, I swear to God, if they mention us, I swear to God, if they mention us. They
mm.
probably said we probably should put markers in this episode. I'm not going to. But I know that they probably hate to see us coming. But
We
anyway,
ever
with
see them
that,
in public, they're like, "Oh, it's you bitches."
they will never put
I'm
us on
like,
their press list.
I'm like, "Hi, I'd
Never.
love to be a guest on your show," and they'd be like, "Oh, do you play the clips, girl? Play the clips.
I
You
have
don't."
already given up this idea that I will ever be on that panel sitting next to T.S. Madison. It will never. Ross
Why?
Matthews probably don't see it from me. I'm sure I will never be, ever. Anyway, we're gonna take a break and come back with more show.
All right, fam, we are back. So for this week, we're going to keep the spice level on Inferno by diving into pop culture streets. For this week's What's Poppin', we're going to ask the age-old question, when is information too much information? And why? So for those of you who are queer and live under a rock, which I mean isn't many of us because we're chronically online, we're talking about Laverne Cox today and her sharing online that she did a MAGA man for 3 years who was also a cop in New York. I think in New York, right? An NYPD cop.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
I mean is also like built different. I know we have thoughts, and I know you had some great thoughts off the air that I thought would be good for us to share here. And so we'll have a little back and forth about our thoughts about this. Because John and I often we made jokes on the show about things should just be inside yourself, right? Or in the group chat or the text message, like and never leave your phone or like your brain. Just stay inside. And I also I get why she did this, right? Because she's promoting her show, and she's like, "Want the full story? Come to my show that she's in her stand up show."
Oh, she's doing stand-up. See, I didn't get that, but go off.
No,
Uh-huh.
she's doing stand up. So
Did
she's
not
also
know
like
that.
she's like come she's like you want to hear more? Come to my show.
Mm-mm.
So I was telling John like I've been fascinated by the response from the dolls, the response from other queer people, the response from the straights. Now, like I want to first say, I am never going to tear down a black girl.
Same.
Never gonna tear down a trans girl. I'm never tear down a black trans girl. Like
Right.
end of the day, I don't have the life experience. So like end of the day, like I want to be really mindful of and also I refrain often from tearing down folks in my community because the world is against us anyways. I will
Right.
happily collect a girl privately. But I will be like I'm not trying to tear her down as
Right.
many people are, right? Like because part of me like actually wants to understand like and part of me is like trying to like I also think there's a level in which like okay so like people are mad, people are like girl I must unfollow her, I can't look at her anymore, she's betrayed me and the work that she's done, she betrayed her community. And like tragically y'all
A
she
lot of the friends you have are still sleeping, but go off.
well
Go
I
ahead.
was
Mhm.
I was gonna say
Go
that
ahead.
but I was like tragically she owes you nothing, like
That too.
unfortunately like she owes you nothing.
Literally
um
that.
Let me first say, it would not be my news. It wouldn't be my news. Like I would never do that. Like
She said could be me.
if I
Mm-mm.
found out that the man I'm seeing
Ooh.
is a MAGA supporter, I'm like, I'm so sorry, babe, but like my values just do not align.
It's
And
not
like
for me,
even
babes.
if the dick
It's
is
not
the
for me,
best dick in my
babes.
life, not for me, babes, I have to
I don't
go.
think we can even
Pip,
get to that point though.
pip, pip.
I mean, so say for instance,
No, you're right.
if I fucked around with
Like
somebody
I'm
and found
yeah.
out we couldn't do it anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, if I'm dating you, I'll probably
Yeah.
know what your politics are before we fuck.
Right. Right.
So I'm like, not for me. But and like, who's to say that they have fucked? Like no one knows, right? Like I don't know. I don't know the relationship. So
Right.
it wouldn't be my news. And if it ever was, that should stay in the group chat. If anything, that should stay on Signal. That's encrypted information. Encrypted. You're not saying this anywhere
WhatsApp.
else outside. Not
Mhm.
WhatsApp, girl, because that people can log in there too. It's gonna be
Oh,
Signal
damn. Okay,
or
I thought it was
nothing.
cryptic. Yeah,
Like
okay.
so yeah,
Uh-huh.
and so I'll start with that. And also, I like people are mad at her for it, and I get why people are upset. But I do have the question of why do you hold a trans woman up to such a standard that like
Mhm.
oftentimes lovingly you and your friends aren't meeting yourself.
Real.
She
That
chooses to
is
be
a
in the, she
real.
chooses to be in the public eye. Yes, 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 yes. I understand that. So I think like if you should be in the public eye, you are held to a higher critique. I understand
Mhm.
that for sure. And
Yeah.
also like I think people need to like who you sleep with, like whether you want to or not, y'all. It actually like it does not always have to reflect your values as a person.
Right.
Like I
Mhm.
do I love that she did it? No. Like, do I love it? No. If she was my friend in life, right? I would be like, girl,
Baby.
I
Yeah.
implore you to stop.
Telling
I,
people
I
that. Mhm.
at best, I implore you to stop. At worst, I implore you to not say this out loud. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, As your friend, I'll take you as you are. At best, just stop it. At worst, just don't
Yeah,
talk about it with
yeah.
anybody. Like,
Yeah,
don't share
baby.
out loud.
Shh, shh,
Shh. Quiet,
shush.
quiet luxury, girl. Keep it to
Yeah,
yourself. Like,
cat. Mm-hmm.
I cannot do it.
What's the name of that brand? There's a quiet luxury brand that everybody's always promoting on the podcast. Sponsored the show. Quince.
Please,
Quince, quiet
Quince,
luxury.
please.
Shh. Quince,
Shh.
sponsor the
I
show.
just, yeah,
Yeah.
and but
Uh-huh.
like, but I think there is we have to interrogate what like how we make trans women like the end all be all. Like we know that trans women have often been our saviors, but like we don't have to hold them to like to the center of like of being like we are all flawed human people.
Amen.
Laverne Cox's politics and activism like does not end because she slept with this because she was with this guy. I also
Right.
think some people have thoughts and commentary of like does she does she feel not as worthy, right? Like was being with a white man her idea of being with like the pinnacle of what it means to be with somebody, and like maybe so, right? Like like her like she used the words like blonde hair, blue eyed, like hot man, right? So like
Mm-hmm.
maybe she got swept up, and like we all have to interrogate our own politics internally and externally. But I don't like when people are like this is a slap in the face to like our community. I'm sorry, but like, were you supporting her when she was on the cover of Time magazine? Were you
Yeah.
were you her
Yeah. Was
like
you
were
there?
like was you there? Were you
Mm-hmm.
like were you being her op when she was on Orange is the New Black, when she was
Right.
fighting to be seen? Like did you hate her on disclosure? Like she still has done good work, and I know I know people hate to believe it. Like she's still done good work that actually means something to like two folks, two trans folks, to the queer community. Like she has still fought in many ways, right? I haven't heard much of her like in the past 2 years, but like and maybe she still is. But, like I've known for like a decade, she has done work in the community. That, like, and I don't want to detract from that at all,
Right.
because of a decision that she made. And part of me is like y'all didn't know this for 3 years. So it's like so listen, like she did a good job hiding it from everybody, right? Like
Right.
she
Mm-hmm.
like like I'll give her
Girl.
steps on that. Like
Mm-hmm.
she
Yeah.
like no one
You
knew,
said I
all
give
y'all
her
got.
snaps.
Give her stuff
Get out of
like
here. I hate
no one
you.
knew. No
Yeah.
one knew she
No
did
one know.
that.
Yeah. Shit. And I
She's
know everybody's business and I didn't even know.
right. So
So
she said like and part of me is like so part of me is like, okay, but you then like did you not say anything because you knew it would challenge reputation?
yeah.
And right, and like what led you to say it now? Is it for the gimmick of having people come to your show
Is it
or something,
yes,
right? Like and it
a
could be like
lot
it could
of
be like marketing and stuff.
publicists will always say even bad press is
Press
good
is good
press.
press. Yeah. Yeah.
Any bad press is good press. So this is my thoughts. This is what I have to say on this. Myself included, I'm gonna go ahead and disclose. Um, the idea that back in my heyday, before I got married,
Hey.
I hooked up with a lot of DL men in the past. And I even dated one before I met my now husband of 15 years. And it took me meeting Jonathan to know that I deserved more than
Mm,
what I was allowing myself as a queer person to have. What I want to say in this is that this is what I feel about the whole Laverne of it all, right? Folks can feel how they want to feel. Folks can feel be in their feelings about it. And oh, she purported this thing and now she's doing okay, whatever. Um, Sometimes, and I'll say sometimes in the word Whitney Houston, sometimes some of us don't see ourselves as being worthy of what's at our front door, right? And so I took meeting it took meeting Jonathan for me to know that I deserved more than what I was allowing myself as a queer
mm,
person to have. So I share that, not to shame anyone who likes the trade. Hey, if that's your journey, right? But we have to remind ourselves that the world often tells us, and I say us collectively as a queer people, that one, we shouldn't even exist, right? We're in a place now where they're wanting to get rid of us in whatever way that they can,
mhm,
or what they're trying to put the kibosh on our rights and all of these things, right? So you go further than that, right? We live in a world where being a Black trans woman, you're being told, take what you can get what you can get, right? And So for her, and again, I don't know the full story, but what I'm saying is, and I'm not in New York to be able to go see this place, so I can't tell you. But I'm just saying, I know, and I'm sure that we could talk about this for hours about the ways that the world has told us we only
Mhm.
deserve so much, right?
Mhm.
How many of you still talk to your MAGA family so you don't feel alone? How many of you stayed in relationships that have run its course because we know that the dating pool is Lake Lanier, right? We decide to stay because of how quote unquote easy it is for us to just say, "Well, I already have something. I don't want to have to fight for better, or I don't feel like I can do any better." And I'm not just talking relationships. I'm sure there are friends that we have that we know we need to cut off, jobs we know we need to leave, apartments, homes, things we need to sell, all of that. But what I'm saying is
Mhm.
I'm not throwing shade. Um I mean, I even think about like half of us haven't. We still even have there are memberships we still have that we haven't canceled, right? Just to say we have them, right?
Mhm.
I think we need to like the thing for me in all of this is empathy, right? We have to understand the story under the story, and so for her to date someone, so my thing becomes, did she, and again, we don't know the full story either. I haven't listened to the full. I haven't listened to the full thing, but we don't know. Did she date this man? Not knowing he was MAGA, right? He probably just said, I'm a police officer. She probably said, okay, I can get past that. You start to get to know this person, you start to like this person, and then they hit you with, oh, I'm also MAGA. And you're like, fuck, well, I'm already in it. You know what I mean? Like it would be like me learning that you're a Taylor Swift fan after knowing you for 10 years. Like, do I end my podcast with
This
Joho
is
because he's a Taylor Swift fan?
please,
I'm just saying. Did you get what
please,
I'm saying? Like that's the game that's being played here.
please.
We don't know the full story, and so I mean, hell yeah, I would say, okay, everybody, thank you so much for coming to BFF. The show has officially run its
Please.
course. We can no longer record
No, that's
because
untrue.
Joho.
You lived with me through my Android phase. You would live with me through my Taylor Swift phase too, girl. Don't play. Don't play. You were rock with
But
me
what?
still.
But right. I would never. But I'm just saying, like that's the thing
But
when
yeah.
you love somebody, or when you start to fall in love with somebody, and you think, okay, well, this person treats me well. They're helping me in my life. They're helping me feel more. You know what I mean? Like there have been friends I've
Yeah.
had to cut off. Like I'll even say this: my fucking chiropractor. I loved my chiropractor. My chiropractor was fucking amazing. He was funny. He was very cute, very charming. His family was sweet. His wife was fantastic. Their baby was the cutest. I fucking loved my chiropractor. And then I learned that he was a fucking Republican who voted for Trump. And I'm
Oof.
like, I've been going to this fucking chiropractor for almost 6 years. And I didn't
Oof.
know. I mean, there were signs. He drove a Tesla, but I'm just saying, like, he seemed to be very in it. Like, he seemed to be, oh, I love what you're doing. I love that you're creating a name for yourself. I can't wait to buy your book. He seemed very in it. And then I learned he voted for Trump. And I'm like, fuck. Am I gonna, which I did. I had to stop going to him. I don't go to him anymore. But I'm just saying, like, that's the stuff that we don't know. And so I think we everyone is so judgmental. And it's like, baby, if somebody came into your house and started peeping around and started opening up doors and started lifting up papers, they'd probably find a roach or two. We all have stuff we're trying to hide, or things that would make other people squirm if they found out about it. And no one's better than that. And so I think, in this moment, my biggest things I just want to say, like, we all are victims of moments of lack of self-love, and before I judge that woman for her bad choices, I have to make sure my house is in order. And I don't have the energy to be all up in her business when I feel like there's a whole bunch of things that I'm trying to keep together over here.
Mhm. Mhm.
So that's where I'm at.
Ooh, girl, I feel it. I feel it. And like I think we're all like we all have to consider what our values are and what how we either uphold them or not uphold them. And like and yeah, I just like sometimes I realize that this is maybe hard for someone to grasp. Like liberation work isn't always so that we can isn't so all things are a certain way. Liberation work is that so all people can be free to do what they want to do with their lives
Yeah.
and feel supported and cared for and have the access to stuff. And like, if I believe in liberation, like for trans folks, right? That means that they can make whatever decisions they want to make, even if I don't agree with them. And we had
Hello. That's real.
And if that's your praxis, then then that has to be your praxis. You can't be judging a girl for her decisions just because they don't align with your decisions. If you
A
leave the
lot,
freedom,
yep. A lot
leave
of y'all
freedom for all
love Taylor
people.
Swift, and I don't agree with it. But hey,
Okay, but different things.
it's not.
I mean, in some cases they're not. In some cases, it's not. Well, fam, now that we have officially had a conversation with the person in the mirror and asked them to change their ways, we're gonna take one more break and come back with y'all's favorite segment. Back in a sec.
All right, y'all. So we are here with the segment that y'all probably have been waiting for, which is our yes ma'am and our no ma'ams. And this week I just genuinely wanted to come back to the point that I had made earlier. So I just really, not only do I want to say yes ma'am to Aja, but I also wanted to say yes ma'am to the girls like and the dolls like Aja. And I know a lot of people refer to Aja and other queens like Aja as like the Banshee queens, but I've been saying this world, what we do, and I say we, all of us, in some way, somehow we've been impacted or we've been uplifted or we've been supported by a Banshee girl.
Mm,
And I feel like we need to give them more credit for being the girl who's willing to say the hard thing, to do the hard thing, to be their authentic selves in a way that the world won't let them. I think so much about what is her name? She passed away. One of the queens, Chi Chi DeVane. I
mm,
could cry. I loved Chi Chi so much, and I still to this day wish she was still here. And I met her once, and immediately, I don't know if I've ever told this story on the mic, but it
mm,
was at DragCon, and there were some white gay men who were at her line giving her a hard time. And I don't know what their problem was. I don't know what the issue was, but I remember walking up and basically having to like go into my bag and basically be like, if you don't leave Chi Chi alone, I'm gonna fuck you up. And they
mm,
walked away. But it was very much a moment of me like, I don't tell that story to like be like, look at me, look what I did. I tell that story of like, I love the Banshee girls. I love a girl who is just herself. And I think that there's just something so beautiful and so special about them. And so I appreciate the girls and the dolls in drag who don't personify whiteness in their drag
mm,
and remind folks that there's so much beauty in being from places like the Bronx, Queens, um, parts of Florida, parts of Texas, parts of
mm,
Atlanta, parts of Georgia that don't, because I think that's where Chi Chi was from some backwood area of, and I don't say backwoods derogatory. I say that I know that Chi Chi was very much same thing with what's her name from Back Swamp. Whatever, like thinking about all those girls, right? They come from a place that is not LA or New York, or Miami, and they say I'm going to make something of myself. I
mm,
think we clap our like I want to clap my hands for the girls who are not polished
mm,
and are out there being their authentic selves in a way that allows us to say, look how beautiful you are, girls. So and I just really want to say like they're not chasing whiteness as a brand of drag. And I think that's beautiful. I think it's beautiful to see girls like Aja saying, I don't need to be like her to be celebrated as a queen. I have my own talent. And I hope Aja, like I want to clip this and like directly send this to Aja. I'm not saying this for her recognition, but I just want her to know that she is needed so much. Like I watched that episode and her being like, I don't know if I want to keep doing this and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, baby, you're needed. Like
mm,
you are so essential in drag right now, and I just want her to know
mm,
um that how important she is to not only the legacy of drag but just to this world right now. So love
mm.
you, girl. I really hope she hears this, and I hope that she knows how much she's loved. um for my no man Pam, oh my god, I feel like we have been talking our asses off today. um I for my no man Pam, it's a very quick one, but I also want to throw it back to the top of the episode, about the whole devil thought she had me, but I got away. So I told this story in my stories on Instagram. I didn't tell it in public. So I'm gonna tell it here. For those of you who do or don't know, I was in LA. Shout out to Minda Harts. Her books, Talk to Me Nice, came out this past Tuesday. If you haven't had a chance to go get it, please do. It's a great book. I actually just got into chapter 1. I'm reading it with some of the folks at my job. We're trying to implement some things around trust. All that to be said, it's a really great book. So Minda, shout out to her for that book. I went to her book launch, but before that, I had to run an errand. I had to actually also, I don't know if y'all know this, but the sacred drops have been sold out and you can't get them everywhere. So I got the sacred drops, but I had to go to West Hollywood to get them. So I said, okay, well, I'll pop over to West Hollywood to get
no.
it. And then I'll head over to Minda's book launch, which it was also in LA at our Reparations Club. So as I'm sitting in front of the place where the Ulta is, I see signs that say 3 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours. Typical LA shit, right? And I said, oh, okay. I said, well, it's, so I got out of my car, put my money, I put my card in the machine. I'm trying to like put extra time on the meter and it only would give me 2 minutes. And I said, what the fuck? So I'm like trying to play with it or whatever. And so then I finally said, I saw another sign in front of the other sign. I didn't read that sign. I only read the green sign, but I didn't read the red sign. Something in my soul said, bitch, you better read that sign. And so I walked a little bit down and I read the red sign and I said, what does it say? And it said, no parking between 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. And I said, oh, this bitch, the devil, she thought she had me. She thought she had me. I walked back to my car. And as soon as I got in my car, girl, and I closed the door, guess what pulled up in front of me? A tow truck. And I said, if I would have stayed here, they would have told Lexi. I said, I said, see, here we go again. Y'all know a couple weeks ago, I got a fucking ticket in LA for parking off of Larchmont. Now West Hollywood is trying to get my ass, but she didn't. And I won. And so I'm laughing in the devil's face, just thumbing my nose at him because the devil thought she had me. My no man Pam is just street parking in LA in general. The fact that there's never anywhere to park, there's a million fucking signs. You never really know where you can really park. And when you do find a good parking spot, you can only park there for 2 minutes. What the fuck? Like, there's so many people in LA and there's so much why is there not ample parking? Build some fucking structures. Like, I know that they have structures, but oftentimes the structures are for like businesses and stuff. What the fuck? Like, I literally, that is a big part of the reason why I have not moved to LA is I hate the idea of like, I never know when and where I can park. And I refuse to do it. I refuse to do it. So that's my no man Pam is ultimately parking in LA again. But this time, I's the winner. What about you, baby?
Let me start with my no man Pam. Mine is also
Go for it.
parking because
Uh-huh.
I just got news I'm actually pissed about. So one, the city of San Diego, for one, increasing its parking rates by double, adding more meters in places that used to be free.
Double?
And double, girl. $5 for an hour is
Oh,
sorry,
that's diabolical.
sorry, $5 for 2 hours,
Uh-huh.
2 hours, $5 for 2 hours. But it used to be $2.50 for 2 hours. So $5 for 2 hours is crazy work. Adding more meters in places that used to be free. They want to try to add parking in Balboa Park, which has always been free. And Loki, like for the bum ass parking enforcement. So first of all, girl, it's not our fault that you broke. It's
Right,
not our fault that you
right.
broke, girl. Maybe stop increasing the police budget hundreds of millions of dollars every year and save yourself some money from that. Like, do not make
Well,
us suffer because you can't budget your shit properly, girl.
right, right.
Don't piss them out like in Thomas Training, girl. But that is just annoying
Mm-hmm.
as hell. And so one, I'm mad at the city for that, but also I'm mad because no, pop off. So I had got so we when they doubled the parking rates, there's an app that you could use called Park Smarter that is to help you park. On the app, you used to be able to extend your time in the app. Now you have to wait for the time to end before you can refill the meter, right? But
Oh.
the issue is that like on the app interface, you have to like park in a specific zone. And so before you can just extend your time in the zone, right? But when it ends, you have to then remember what the zone number is or go back and scan the zone to like then re-up your time in the zone. Yeah, and then I renew my parking at 12:29. So 3 minutes It was those 3 minutes. I got a parking ticket, right? That means that this bum bitch was probably watching for our vehicle,
Waiting.
because like, girl. Also, but like, so I got the ticket. I contested it and was like, I think it's actually egregious because, well, mind you, like, it's a $45 parking ticket. Egregious, which is like not a big deal in the grand scheme, but like egregious to the second parking ticket because I was literally like, a minute late, like, you can't extend on the app, which I demonstrated via the screenshots I showed.
Right.
You have to leave. You have to go back to the car to extend it again. 1 minute is crazy. So I tested it, and they just told me that I still
You still have to pay
have to
it?
pay the fine. And I'm like, are you serious, girl? That is such bullshit. Because before I could extend my my time and call
They
back
know
a
what they're
day.
doing. They know what
But
they're doing.
and you changed that. That story changed now, and then like, girl, a minute. The lady ran out for a minute, and you already gave me a ticket, which means you were there writing that ticket before I even expired.
Right.
Because you got to stand there. It takes you minutes to fill out the little form and grant
Mm-hmm.
a ticket. So you know full well that you were there for like probably at 12:25,
Yep.
waiting for 12:26 to come, and then say, "Here's your ticket, girl. Come back at the end of the day." Like, just like, girl, like fuck y'all. That is just dumb.
That's the city.
I would have no issue paying a parking ticket if like my car was over 2 hours, way past
Right.
beyond. But like, girl, it was like literally within 3 minutes. Like, are you serious? Like, be so for real. People are dying, Kim, and you're like, let's get a bigger ticket.
Embezzle.
But I'm saying, and then you
Embezzle.
want to add parking
Yeah.
meters everywhere else
Mhm.
around the city. Like, what are you doing for the city, girl? Like, our mayor.
What are you doing for the city?
I have questions and thoughts for our mayor. I'm gonna say, girl, like, what?
What are you doing for the city? It's so
I have a
funny
very
to
fair
me.
question to ask you. What do you
Yeah.
do successfully? Quickly.
Quickly. Yes.
That's just
Mhm.
so no man on
Mhm.
that. My yes ma'am is gonna be for what's that? Yes, my yes ma'am is gonna be for pride.
Mhm.
Because who do I just call my girl? We call hoes. My yes ma'am is gonna be for pride, San Diego Pride, because it was just so much fun. I have to give big ups to them. I want to give big ups to one of my besties, Marvin's,
Mhm.
who is the director of Pride, the
Uh-huh.
director of programs and events. So they like put on the entire festival basically with their team.
Oh,
Um,
that's mother. I did not know that. I
mother, yes,
didn't know that.
that was her job. She got as of last year. So
I
it's her
know
first,
that's
not even a
right.
year into her role, and put on a record breaking Pride. The entertainment team,
Mm.
Gigi girl,
We
got
speak your name, Marvin.
two amazing headliners that were fucking
Mm.
fantastic. People were living their best lives. It was so much fun. I didn't get to do
Who
much because
so
I was
who was the
working.
headliner this year? It was I know it was Kalani, right?
Kehlani and Kim Petras.
Oh. Oh, okay. Well,
No,
work.
They Loki did their big one. I didn't watch
Work.
Kim Petras. I wasn't like interested in it. But I did
Okay.
watch Kehlani and
I respect that. Yeah, I respect
like
that.
the performance amazing,
8,
body
I'm sure.
stupid, voice vocals 100, like just
Mhm.
everything. It was so dope. And Pride has had a lot of controversy this past year as well too because of it. And so I have to say
Mm.
very proud to see them work together in this way and still do and like put on an amazing festival that people
Yeah.
really loved and enjoyed. And
Can we
now I'm
also throw
excited.
Amber St. James's name because I know that they're connected to Pride too,
Oh,
but I
Amber St.
also
James,
saw them
please.
I saw them perform at that beach thing, not beach thing, but at that pool thing you did on Monday. And
Yes.
yeah, so I just want to make sure
Oh,
Amber
and,
gets
well,
her
I mean, because Amber also was
flowers
surprised. So
too.
Amber was making sure that we were all set up for success at every booth. Amber was
Mhm.
at every booth saying, "You girl, you good. You got stuff you need." Amber was working the damn thing, and
I
then
believe
and
it.
performed as well too, and hosted the Stonewall Rally, which our girl Raquel Willis spoke at. She was a keynote speaker
I love
at the
it.
Stonewall Rally. Amber St. James was a host of that event too.
I love it.
Amber St. James is incredible. Like literally, like we have some incredible fucking folks, incredible fucking Black folks here in San Diego, and I'm so thankful to witness them, to work with them. And so I have to give them their big ups, give them their flowers. Y'all have been doing your big ones on this. Y'all made
I
this so
love that.
special. I'm excited, and I'm excited and we're with Amber for Black Pride. Marvin's and I are working on Black Pride with our girl Yinka also, Yinka. Like Yinka wants to be on our show too. We got to bring her on. She is a black
Can.
queer event producer, has her own event company. We should be amazing about how to produce your own events as a queer Black woman. She's super dope. Big ups to her because she also help ran Pride. She ran all the bars at Pride. She's helping me plan Black Pride. Like I'm so thankful to work around dope ass Black people. And it feels so good to see it and be part of it. And so I big ups to y'all, love y'all so much. Yes, ma'am, to all of y'all, to all of us.
Yeah.
And that's that on that.
I was just gonna say real quick too, before we get out of here, that I just want to give you your flowers because I know that you are in a lot of different spaces out that way, and I know it's not always easy. And I think it's encouraging. I should say this, like I know that you probably think, well, John, you're 10 years my senior, and you have all of these accolades and things but I look at you in a lot of ways and I go, my girl is doing it and it is so encouraging for me to do what I want to do. And I think, as much as you said earlier today, you're like, I don't feel where I need to be in my own personal body and blah, blah, blah. I get all of that. And I want to make sure that I don't dismiss that. I definitely just want you to know if there's any consolation that you're making an impact, not only locally, but globally. It's just every time I see you out there doing stuff, every time I see you I'll even say this, part of your there's a we're gonna have to talk about this offline, but I think you're the perfect person to do something. The new book that I'm working on, I think you'll be the perfect person for me to connect with and to talk with about the importance of community, because there's a community element in my book that I'm dancing with, and I think you'll be
Be
the
honored.
perfect person to help work with me on that. But anyway, I said all of
Be
that to
honored.
say, you're just very much a great inspiration to me, and you are Black excellence. You are Black pride, and it
Love
just
you.
makes me happy to know every day that I get to do this with you, and I get to do this with somebody who's really changing the world. So,
I love you so
um,
much. Thank
I
you.
love you to the fucking moon. And so, with that being said, we love y'all. And if you have thoughts, which I'm sure many of you probably do, feedback or email, you can send that over to blackfatfempod@gmail.com. My God, this episode is almost 2 hours. I am so sorry, y'all, but I felt like we just had a lot to say today. And you know what? Sometimes it's going to be that way. Sometimes
I feel like, and I honestly, I feel like we had a lot of pause in between time. I think when we cut it down,
maybe,
it'll
but
be like an
either
hour
way,
20. But
it's
yeah.
still we had a lot to say today, and sometimes and y'all gonna listen to all of it. I know that's right.
Okay.
But if you have thoughts about all that we had to say, you can also interact with us on Instagram or over at Blue Sky, or also on Threads. We are on all the places, also on the Tick of the Talks. I've been seeing people reshare our videos. Funny enough, a friend of mine, one of our clips from our videos on TikTok, my friend just messaged me and said that her husband sent her our video from our podcast, and she's like, I know them.
Yes.
So that was really funny to kind of see. But anyway, all that to be said, I use
Yes.
the handle
Period.
Black Fat Fem Pod. You can find us anywhere and everywhere that you get your favorite content. So with that being said, Joho, where can the dolls find you now that you're getting some rest from Pride?
Whew, girl, my loves, you can find me at Jeho Downs across all socials. JohnDowns.com, my website. And if not there, you will find me. Unfortunately, in every street, begging people to come about Pride, making sure everyone knows about what we're doing.
And Will.
Make sure we have a great turnout. We're having some great performances. We're doing some great events. So if y'all are in San Diego or around and want to come through, if you're in LA, OC, if you're in the Bay, if you're in fucking Zimbabwe, come through to
Come.
CSD August 8th through 10th for Black Pride Festival. Then the 8th we're having a ball. The 9th we're doing a 92,000s throwback hip hop twerk like twerk style, get your twerking on evening. And then Sunday's gonna be a full day cookout, DJs, live performances, music artists, some headline DJs. It's gonna be an amazing experience. So please come through, get your tickets. Find us at SD Black Pride on Instagram. Sickening Events is what we're using for our platform. It's a queer event ticketing's website. So we're doing queer shit with queer people, ticketing events, what it's called. I'm very excited for all the above. So yeah, peace and love, y'all.
I love that. I love to hear that. And I'm looking at my calendar. I forgot. So, for those of you who know, I'm a huge fan of Jade and XD, and as well as Jade and Kia. They have a live show coming up on August 8th in Los Angeles. And I forgot that I had bought tickets to go to the original show, and it got rescheduled to the 8th. So that's where I will be on Friday the 8th. I will be at Jade and Kia's live show in Los Angeles, which you can go get tickets over down to the Getting Grown. But I will, for a fact, be in San Diego on that Sunday for SD Pride. So
the 10th is the best. I think that's great. I think
I will be there. I will be there. So I'm really excited because last year I was traveling and I didn't get a chance to go. And I'm going to make sure that I'm there this year. So I can't wait to be there and be in community and things. As for me and as for mine, you can find me and all the details about my book and all of the things related to Dr. John Paul down over at www.drjohnpaul.com. You can also find me on socials using the same handle, Dr. John Paul. Buy my book. You can buy it directly from my site, or you can buy it on Amazon. You can buy it on Barnes & Noble, or you can buy it at your local bookshop. I know a lot of people have been doing the local buys, which I think is fantastic. I just got word this morning that we have officially sold over, I've been saying roughly 3,000. We have sold 3,100 copies of my book. So officially we have sold that many. I don't know how many we've sold in audio, but I will say the sales definitely is going to make it very easy for me to purchase to sell another one. So thank you for all of your love and support there. For other folks, if you want to watch my spot on ABC, you can watch it on Hulu, ABC. I've been seeing people seeing it locally on their own websites or on their own local news sources. It's Our America, Who I Am Meant to Be. You can head over down to ABC or to Hulu and watch that. Other than that, we want to thank our producer, Bay Wang, our super producer. I keep forgetting to say super producer, Bay Wang, for handling the logistics of the show, and everyone over at iHeartMedia for keeping the show up and running. We'd also like to shout out our wonderful editor, Chris Rogers, because without him, we would not have any audio or visuals for the show. Baby, they make magic every single week for Down to the Tube of You. It is free. We are not behind a paywall, so go down and watch it. I actually know folks who watch the show, which I love, so that's really cool. But with that being said, thank you for listening, everybody. This has been another show. Stay black, fat, femme, and fabulous. And remember what, Joho?
Y'all, we may not be your cup of tea. But I don't know. Go drink some water because you need some anyways. You're probably thirsty, bitch.
Bitch, it's hot.
Get some Pedialyte. Get some Gatorade, some electrolytes. Girl.
Go take a nap. Lay down.
Dehydrate in this bitch.
Also, keep your stuff in the group chat. I love us for real. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.